Hey everyone, okay, I've actually got a variation of this question like 3 times this week, so I'm going to do a video on it because I replied to a couple, but I think maybe there's obviously more people out there thinking about the same thing. Basically, how to get motivation and people that are struggling to get started to get in shape. So it's kind of a two-part answer, I suppose. In terms of motivation, I've talked about this. I actually have a whole section of this in my book that's coming out in October about what I used as motivation and what I use for motivation every day. For me, it's not the most positive thing, and I use it because, and I would be quite a positive person by nature, and my outlook on things would normally be very, very positive. But in terms of my fitness and my drive, what started me off was from a very, very negative place. It came from a place of insecurity when there was just too many comments that would be said about, being too skinny or being too fat or not looking after yourself or whatever it is. Those comments after a certain point start to hurt. And they can be a platform for getting yourself into better shape. And again, I've gone into this in the book about using negative thoughts to fuel positive motivation. And really, that's the advice I can give is you kind of have to hit a low point to the point when somebody will say something, it can be just a passing comment. I talked about my low in the book. My low point was a point when I got really, really sick, how I went out when I was in a big drinking scene, and how I got hospitalized in the States, how I gave myself a stomach ulcer, started to bleed and choke up blood and got sent into hospital in the States, and how that was my low point, that I was literally out of shape. I was overweight for the first time in my life, and I was literally like, oh my God, what the fuck am I doing with my life? That was my turning point. That was my trigger motivation that was like, I can't live my life like this. That happened when I was 21, and I literally came out of hospital reborn. Like, I feel I'm not a very religious person, but I feel it's what like Christians get when they're like, I found Jesus, I was reborn. That's what happened to me. I came out of hospital and I was like, I'm fucking changing my life. So I literally consumed every single piece of information I could on fitness, on nutrition, on supplementation, on health, everything that I could to try and transform my body. That's how it started. That's where it came from. Where my massive love and passion for fitness and a healthy lifestyle came from. But it came from a bad place. It came from a negative place. And I talk about in the chapter of the book on motivation that it doesn't have to be something so drastic as being hospitalized. It happens. I've had a girl come to me who was 2 months away from type 2 diabetes. Her doctor told her, and it's the only reason she came to me. And she was in a recent transformation. But it can be a comment from somebody. It can be somebody making a passing comment about you being too skinny or being too fat or being too whatever. They can be the things that are like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to turn my life around now. That's your platform. So using a negative emotion that somebody has given you and turn it into a positive motivation. That's the biggest advice I can give in terms of what will get you started. What will keep you going then is your progress. I talked about this in a video before. As long as you're progressing, you're going to stay, motivated. It's very, very easy. I love the story on Thomas Edison about inventing the light bulb and how he tried 1,036 times, I think it was, and he failed and failed and failed and failed and failed, and he didn't give up. When the reality is, and I'm the same as everybody else, if I was doing something, 5, 6 times and going to the gym and eating well and I wasn't responding, I would get demotivated. Everybody would, because that's what progress does. Progress keeps you motivated. Thomas Edison was on the opposite side, but it still gives you the idea that if you keep pushing forward, you'll eventually get there. But you need to get yourself onto a good program, get yourself onto a good plan, start reading books or consuming information, following people that you think know about fitness and health and training and mindset and health and whatever it is you're trying to fix. Follow those people that are going to support you. Consume their information, watch all of their videos, read all of their content. It doesn't matter who that person is or who those people are. Use them to support you on your journey. Your mentors and your influencers don't need to be your best mates. Some people have them. Some people are very fortunate like that they're in their life, but they can be from media. I had people online that transformed my mindset. It's why I read so much. It's why I talk about how on my Snapchat, how I read like a minimum a book a week, closer to 2 books a week, because I'm taking in information from other people so I can help myself. and then I can help other people as a result, you know. So find the program, find a plan, find the people that know what they're talking about, and stay progressing. You know, if it's a fitness goal, get a program and a plan that's going to work for you and that you can stick to and that you're going to see progress with, because progress is addictive. The reality is, if you're progressing, you're going to stay on track. You know, if it's a gym thing, and I did a video, I replied to somebody on my Facebook page last week about the intimidation of a gym. Start training at home. You know, start doing home workouts. The reality is, you can do an amazing workouts at home with just your body weight, as long as you've got the right systems. If you've got €50, you can go in and buy some dumbbells and a barbell on Argos, or £50 or $50, wherever you're watching this from. You can go in and buy a barbell and a set of dumbbells, and you can literally do full body workouts. You know, I can think of 5 workouts off the top of my head like that I could do with just barbells and dumbbells that would crush somebody and change their physique. That's what will give you confidence, because you can do it in the comfort of your own home. You're not worried about people wondering if you're scrolling through how to do an exercise, and it takes away the fear. Build up the confidence from training at home. Do workouts from home. Start to build a basic understanding of what your body responds to. I was lucky. I started lifting weights at, I was 15. I was doing push-ups and pull-ups and stuff since about 13. So I didn't have that massive fear because I was 16 when I joined the gym. It was still there, but that horrible fear, I've had it in other situations, so that's how I know how you feel, because I've gone into rooms, with big business leaders, where there's people that are miles ahead, and I'm like, oh fuck, and you come in, because that, we all have that, it just matters, it's just channeling a different area. So that's how I understand what you're going through, and I understand how you're feeling. It's just channeling in a completely different area. So that's my advice, is find a negative emotion to get started and use that as your driving force. Find a program or plan or people that are going to support you on the journey, because progress is addictive. And if it's a gym that's intimidating you, start doing the workout at home, build up your confidence, build up your physique, and then the next step will be go to a gym, because you already know what you're doing. So I hope this video helps. Please like and share the page. If you've got any comments, I'll be replying for the next 24 hours.